Now, my student you're seeing here fixed his early extension in just 2 weeks. And how he did that was via one simple little tweak and following this exact process, which works every single time for players who early extend. And you never hear coaches talk about this, and even the very best coaches in the world. So what we did with my student, like we said, one simple thing and the process, and that is going into fixing the root cause and effect. So if you are not working on fixing the reason why you're early extending, you will never fix your early extension, as early extension is purely a reaction to something happening earlier in your golf swing. And early extension is actually in your golf swing with your root cause fault to make it work and to make you play good golf with it. So if we want to get rid of that really horrible fault, which is early extension, we've got to fix the fault causing it. So absolutely, with my student, what was his root cause? So as my student got up to the top of his backswing, so around halfway back, his hip turn didn't turn anymore from here. So he would have a little bit of turn going up to halfway back, and then from there, no more hip turn. So his right pocket would stay exactly where it is, and then he would just raise up those arms. And then from there, as soon as he started that downswing, because his right hip hadn't moved more back, hadn't turned more, as soon as he started to turn, his right pocket and his right hip would fire forward. So any hint of hip rotation from that unturned top of the backswing position will cause it to fire. That causes his hand path to drop, that causes his right arm to get stuck behind him, and then that results in a stall out and a flip going through the golf ball. So what we needed to do there was keep his hips turning all the way up to the top. We didn't want it to stop here halfway back. We wanted it to keep going. So we wanted to feel like this right trouser pocket kept moving deeper. So getting more hip depth. So important, because if we could get this right hip moving deeper, which would mean more hip turn, then you can see his right pocket would be more back. So then as we started that downswing from there, that would allow him to keep the pelvis back as he started to turn, which would flex that lower body down and continue his rotation. He could finally clear those hips. So what we did, absolutely, a little feel of right trouser pocket going back. That helped a ton. We worked on this drill. And that drill was grabbing an alignment stick, and what we did, we put it through the belt loops equally on either side. So a lot coming out on the left and a lot coming out on the right. And what we did with this right part of the stick here, we wanted to think, okay, this is going to represent the right side of my pelvis here, so like my pocket region. And I wanted him to get this stick moving more back behind him, giving the turn and making that pocket go back, giving more space to turn in that downswing. So this was that one small little tweak we made, and this immediately fixed that root cause reason. But it is a two-step process, as we know. So he got these reps in, working with that, but we still needed to work on dialing down the actual early extension, because when we started working with this, yes, he was getting that right pocket back, but he still wasn't turning as well as we could, because you still have to learn how to turn properly in the downswing, even when you fix your root cause. Like we said, two-pronged approach, root cause and effect. So we worked a ton on this, and we also worked a ton on this drill I'm going to show you in a second to work on the effect. So once we had his root cause fixed with that drill there, we wanted to learn now how to turn the pelvis properly in the downswing. And this is something that so many golfers get wrong. A lot of players who are trying to turn the hips coming from that transition, they're trying to shove that right side forward. As you can see from this video, that is not the way to go. So I was teaching my student here how to use his left side, as the key to good hip rotation and keeping a good posture is using your left side. So we wanted to almost feel like now someone was grabbing the left trouser pocket and pulling it back, because you can see if I'm giving myself more hip depth, so depth of your hips is when they're going more back, so hip depth of the left side in the downswing, look how much my pelvis opens up and rotates without me even trying. So that was our second key there, was getting that left hip to move more back. So if we could get that right trouser pocket moving back and then left trouser pocket moving back, getting those hips staying deep, then that's how we worked and fixed that root cause. So let me show you the drill we did to be able to get this. So the drill here, pretty simple one. We just grabbed an alignment stick. So here I'm going to demonstrate it with my swing plate. If you want one of these, there's a link in the description for a discount on it. So what we did, we put it behind our left hip and put it roughly around half a club's distance behind the left hip here. So what we tried to do from here is something that you'd actually never be able to actually do. And that is getting the left hip to hit that in the downswing. But you can see it's half a club's distance behind me. There is no chance I'll ever be able to actually hit that. No matter how hard I push it back, it's not going to happen. But because we've got something here that's pushed way outside our reach, even if we get, you know, halfway there, look how much we're going to turn those hips. And this was that light bulb type of moment to get him opening up those hips more once we got, of course, the root cause and that backswing fixed by that deeper, fuller turn. So, okay, getting that left hip back to go and hit it is absolutely what we went and did. But just like when you're learning anything, guys, if you do it full speed straight away, you're not going to be very successful. And what you need to do is do it nice, slow, bite-sized to start off with. So do it half swing and quite slow. So this is a very overlooked thing in regards to working on your golf swing. It's something that I think everyone actually knows, is if you're learning a new motor pattern, you have to move slowly. And that's exactly what we did, because he found it really hard, full speed straight away, to be able to even remotely come close to hitting this, or even get remotely close to halfway, we could say. So that's why we just did a little half once. Just really making sure he's really feeling like he's going back as much as he can with that stick. Half a club's behind him, getting that left hip to go back and hit it, but doing it nice and half. Again, we could work on that right hip going back whilst we did this. And then that's the key then. This is a really good one as well, just to train space going through the golf ball. If we want good, efficient, controllable club movement going through the golf ball, we need room. We don't want to be cramped up. We need that space, and practicing it in a half swing way is a really good way to feel it. Now, a lot of guys out there can't do half swing drills, and why that is because you don't use your body. Those are guys who are using their arms too much. And this is where, again, right pocket back, left pocket back, even in a half swing sense, I feel like I'm gonna fall back this way because I've got so much pressure moving into that lead side of my lead heel. But once we started to feel comfortable with that, of course, what did we do? We just gradually built up the speed. And again, this was all under the space of 2 weeks. We worked on this. That's because my student there was part of the winter improvement plan. So even now, what we're working on, we're way ahead, working on something really cool at the moment with the swing, which we'll possibly make another video at another time too, but you can send in as many lessons as he likes, which is part of the winter improvement plan. So if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description to work one-on-one with me. Really good value in there as well. And then, of course, we built up then the length of the swing, the speed of the swing, to where now he can go and do full speed swings and be absolutely great with it. So that's where one of my big sayings, drills create the feels. A lot of players are always wanting to get and be too eager to get the feel into their golf swing. Go, tell me something to think of that's going to get me into the positions. You'll never do and get those moves into your swing if you're just trying to consciously think it. Do drills like we said here, one that works on the root cause, one that works on the effect. And once you've drilled those out enough, then you're going to be able to feel like you're doing the drill when you're not doing it. So that's how you transfer it out onto the golf course. So that's the only way to get it. There is absolute rubbish of saying one thing that is going to get it into your swing immediately. You need to put in the work, which is why I talk so much about drills on this channel, because drills can give you the feels to make those eureka light bulb moments, just like with my student, with fixing his root cause and effect. So again, if you want to work on your early extension, there's a couple ways you can go about it. One, there's an early extension masterclass that is also in the description, which talks about all the root causes and how to work on the effects at the same time, almost like a little plan. So again, that is in the link in description. Really, really good info, give you a coaching level of knowledge on early extension, which is ultimately really necessary if you want to fix this problem. Of course, just like we said, one-to-one work with me on Skillist, just like with my student here, and you'll be surprised at how quickly you can go and improve. There will be no longer where you're that golfer who is struggling, you cannot fix your golf swing. This is where we're going to break through that very, very quickly. Once we find the root cause, then it's absolutely easy game for us to be able to fix that issue. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button. If you want more golf instruction, just like this, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell button too, to be notified every time I put out a video.